Everyone, I'm Nysa. I'm a scholar from Next Genius for Knox College. And I think I started pretty much at the same place y'all are right now. I'll quickly go over the 4 steps that I had to go through to get to where I am right now. And we all started with the Google form of questions that tested our academic abilities. So we had questions on math and on English. These are very simple questions, nothing too much to work your brain over. Am I spoken?
Yes, Nysa, you can go ahead. You're audible. Yeah, I think her internet froze. Nysa, you can go ahead. We were able to hear you.
Okay, great. Sorry. So right, like I was saying, you have the Google form that comes up with your mathematics and English questions. These are very much like your SAT questions. You need to know your 10th grade math, and that should be good enough to get you through to answering these questions. I personally did not study for this, but the Next Genius offers you a really nice handbook that gives you a list of, I think, of 150 questions that you can use to practice. So again, very streamlined, very smooth. I think there were around 50 questions. You had an hour to answer all of them. Don't worry too much about this. This basic thinking skills, and if you know your 10th grade stuff, you should be good enough to get through this. Then we move on to the second stage of the entire process, and this is where we were asked to choose our colleges. So I think there were about 20, 22 colleges. And so what I did is I first shortlisted colleges based on the majors they were offering or what they were known for, because you'll be provided with an Excel sheet that lists out the ranking of the college, the kind of majors they're offering, what they're known for, all of that. So I'm a biology major, and so I picked out courses, colleges that were offering biology, and that's how I shortlisted around 6 to 7 colleges. And then I went onto the college's website, went through, figured out like how Miss Connor said, picked out colleges based on what I liked, what I wanted from the college, in terms of the size of the college, in terms of the community, what they're offering to me, the course. So I chose Knox because of their research program and the fact that it's very small. I'm an IB student, so I've always been used to smaller classrooms, where I have personal attention, and that's what I want to continue with at university. So that's why I picked Knox. Also, their research program was great. Like they offer you $2,000 as to every student for research. So that's something that stuck right out to me because I really like the idea of doing research. So that's how I picked my colleges. And this is a little tricky bit, but you have to talk about why you want to go to the college, why you want to study abroad in the first place. So part of our process was to record 2 videos, one of our parents, one of our own, to answer these questions and to explain yourself to Next Genius. So they ask us questions like, why do you want to do what major you're doing? Why do you want to go to whichever college you've chosen? And to the parents, they ask, why do you want to send your child abroad to study? And I think the other question they asked was, how are you planning on paying the other expenses? Because we all know that this covers only the tuition and not the boarding and the food expenses. So those are things that you have to think about. And when you're making the video, it has to be a very small video, about 3 minutes per video, I think. Very short, very crisp, be as detailed as possible. But again, don't go blabbering because then it becomes too long and then it becomes boring. So keep those things in mind. And then once you're assigned your college, you'll be put into separate WhatsApp groups, and then next part of your process starts. And that involves firstly filling out your Common App application. This is again very simple standard stuff which you have to do for every college that you apply to. So the Common App is it's a very simple platform. You don't have too much to do. All the information that you fill out, it can be used everywhere. So that's not something you need to worry about. You might be required to write an essay depending on which college you're going to. So when you're writing an essay, again, it depends on what the prompt is asking from you. But essentially, there are certain things that you want to cover. Number one is why you would be a good fit for the college. Number two is why you want to go to the college, right? What you're going to offer to the college, what makes you worthy of going there or receiving a scholarship. So those are things that you want to keep in mind when you're writing out your essay. Then you also have to submit your application. You might be asked to put in the resume, to keep one handy. And also Common App asks you for a list of at a maximum of 10 activities that you've done, extracurricular activities. These again depend on what you like. For example, if you're interested in theater, like I am, if you've done plays, if you've written something, or you've done examinations, you can put all of that stuff in there so that it highlights your application and you stand out. For example, again, if you want to talk about more about your major, and if you've done stuff for your major, like you've written a research paper or you've gone on certain examinations or anything related to your major, I think it's a good idea to put it in there so that students know, so that the admission counselors know that you are a good student. This is what you will bring to the school, and you will continue down the same path. So put all of that in there, and that covers up your Common App application. You have to submit this by the 1st of Jan, and you have to pay a 4,000 fee to Next Genius. You do not have to pay any fee to the Common App. The application is free. The money that you pay to Next Genius will be returned to you, so don't worry too much about that either. And then the next part is your personal interview. This is going to be with a college student. So it's again a very general interview, trying to get to know you as a person. So they'll probably ask you questions like, what are some of your strengths and weaknesses? What do you like to do in your free time? Why do you want to go to the college you've chosen? Stuff like that. So basically general stuff, getting to know you. Don't worry too much about this. Just be cool, collected, be yourself, because you really want to show the person you are on the inside. Make sure the student who's interviewing you knows and understands you, and try to click with the person who's interviewing you, because they do, I think, I'm not sure about this, but I think they do have a say in whether you will work with the college that you've chosen. And also, here's a great opportunity to ask questions about the college to show that you're interested in the college and you really want the scholarship. So ask questions to the person who is interviewing you, and just be cool, collected. You don't have to stress too much during this. It's very chill. So don't worry too much about this. And then finally, your fourth stage is a group interview. Now, the group interview is split into two parts. The first day is when you basically get to know the other students who are applying to the same college. You get to know the admission counselors. You have a quick introduction session, talk about where you're from, what you're doing, what your majors are. Talk about a little bit about yourself. This is not assessed. The first day is not assessed. It's just a warming up session, like an icebreaker, so that you get eased into the process. The second day is your main day. This is again split into two parts. You have to, okay, no, actually this really depends on the college. For me, it was split into two group interviews. So the first group interview, I think, is common for all colleges, where you're given a topic and you're asked to discuss about the pros and cons. You have to choose sides. It's quite a lot like a debate. So you talk about what. So I think our topic was, should we go to Mars or should we stay on Earth and try to improve the planet? So that was our group interview question. And so again, you choose sides. You talk about what side you prefer. You take a stance. You try to push across your viewpoint. Now, as in every group interview, don't be overbearing. Like I understand you have a lot of ideas you want to see, At the same time, I think it's important to give other people also a chance to speak. Otherwise, you come off as like a know-it-all and someone who just wants to put their viewpoint across. So I would strongly recommend not doing that. Try getting other people to speak. Try taking the lead in the conversation. Try bringing in new ideas. Look for gaps. And also, one thing that I did for my interview was I tried to keep everyone like connected and try to keep the ideas going and try to remind people of the ideas that we've already covered. So that so sort of like making a summary of the entire interview. And if you get the opportunity, please try to take the lead. You know, put yourself out there. Like say, okay, I'll go first. If you have the opportunity to start the conversation, try ending the conversation. So that again puts you across as someone who knows how to take a lead, someone who knows how to, talk really well. Also, remember speed is really important. Don't talk too fast. Don't talk too slow. If you talk too fast, people might not understand what you're trying to say. But at the same time, if you talk too slowly, it might get boring, it might get monotonous, and you might not be able to put your point across as well as you might have liked. So pace is really important when you're talking. And I think just keep a couple of these pointers in mind and you should be good. Of course, you have to have good content to talk about. And so maybe you could try doing a little bit of research. You might want to look at the current affairs that are going on. So the entire Mars debate that took place is because of Elon Musk planning on going to Mars. So that's again based on current affairs. So you might want to keep yourself briefed up about what's happening around you in the world. Keep that in mind and you should be good. And the second interview was, again, trying to gauge why you'd be a good fit for the college. So what they asked us to do was, at least for Knox, they asked us to make a drawing of how you think your journey across the way of starting to your graduation point, how you imagine your journey. So they asked us to draw that out. And so again, put in factors of how Knox will help you, your college will help you grow as a person, how you will benefit from the college, what you do for the college, because again, if they're giving you a scholarship, they do expect something in return. Right? So keep those things in mind, and you should be good. Again, this is not a test on your artistic abilities, just on how you think integrates you as an individual. And that I think was pretty much the entire process. And then, of course, I think about a week later, we had the awards ceremony and the announcement of the results and all of that. And that was the journey I had.